Now on KGW News, they can steal your credit card info with a swipe. Check out the surveillance video police say shows thieves setting up a skimmer at a local store. Plus,
and that he was very scared that was going to happen to him, and I feel so bad that it came true.
An ICE detainee whose family says he was hit by an SUV during his arrest is now at a loss after he's moved hundreds of miles away. But first, the atmospheric rivers that caused some flooding in our area walloped northwest Washington with landslides and historic flooding that's still getting worse. Thank you for joining us here at 11. I'm Christine Pitawanich. Washington's governor has declared a state of emergency. The National Guard has been activated with 100 service members already helping tonight. There are at least 6 rivers in the state that could break flooding records, as well as 3 dams at risk of failing. Several communities are under evacuation orders. That includes the Mount Vernon area north of Seattle. The Skagit River there is still rising, expected to go up another 14 feet before Friday. Businesses were boarding up and sandbagging tonight.
There's been multiple times today that I've almost been in tears. This is really a magical community.
To the southeast of Seattle now, I-90 is shut down near North Bend. It's been closed more than 9 hours because of this landslide that trapped 3 cars. And further south in Pierce County, sheriff's deputies had to go in by boat to rescue people from an RV park. They evacuated at least 40 homes with river levels in the town of Ording especially high. Then in Lewis County, closer to our area, the Cowlitz River is still at what's considered major flood stage, triggering evacuations there. Some people who live on higher ground have been helping those that need to leave.
It come up faster than I've ever seen water come up. There's some little kids in there that were packing stuff out to the car, and the first trip there was no water, and the second trip he stepped into the water, and then I come down in there and we loaded him out and got him out of there.
The Cowlitz River has flooded much of the Cascade Peaks RV park. Look at that near Packwood since yesterday morning. In southwest Washington, we're seeing more minor flooding, but still some issues in eastern Clark County and Cowlitz County. The Lewis River is going down after it flooded yesterday, spilling out onto roads and into parks. Most of the road and park closures have since been lifted. The Cowlitz River in Kelso is also back under flood stage today. Meantime, on the Oregon coast, water is still high in some spots tonight, but it is receding. Thanks to Renee for sending in these shots of Drift Creek in Lincoln City from earlier today. Water is still right at the edge of Highway 101 in Seaside. This is a picture from ODOT cameras tonight, but that road, as you can see, is open. Highway 6 in Tillamook is back open as well after it looked like this yesterday. Tillamook firefighters had to rescue a handful of people yesterday, including a driver who got stuck in water that had covered the road. They're asking people to stay vigilant and not drive through any of the flooding. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino here now with more on the continued threat in northwest Washington and a look at what's to come for our area. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Christine. Wow, the video really tells the story of just how severe the flooding has been and is, especially up in northwest Washington. The entire area under a flood watch. But look, see where the yellow is? We even have flash flood watches. Those are pretty rare for Oregon and Washington. Even in the summertime, we don't get that many, but it's really quite rare in the wintertime. That means that the flooding can happen very, very quickly in a flash, basically. So it continues to our north. As we slide south a little bit, you can see the counties bordering Oregon are not under any kind of flood watch until you get out over into eastern Washington there. But we still have issues, as you just mentioned, up around Chehalis, and there are some flood advisories on some of the creeks and streams there. Things have improved dramatically here in Oregon. In fact, the rainfall forecast going forward, we hardly get anything tomorrow, maybe 1/100th of an inch. But look how quickly it ramps up to 2/3 of an inch. Now, that's not enough to cause the kind of flooding that we saw. We had 7 to 14 inches of rain across the region, so it's just going to take time for the rivers to flush all that water out, especially in western Washington, where they're going to get more 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of rain up in the Cascades, the North Cascades in Washington. So again, it continues to be rather brutal up there. The rain will finally begin to taper off tomorrow evening. Our rain has really tapered off. A couple of random light showers. That's all we have, and that's all we're going to get through the day tomorrow. But boy, is it ever warm out there. Still sitting at 59 degrees. and it's going to be another mild day tomorrow. Christine will have more on the forecast, which includes even a better chance of mountain snow next week. That's looking a little bit better. Have that for you in a bit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt. In an update tonight, a Vancouver man's family who says ICE agents ran over his foot during his arrest is now sounding the alarm after he was transferred to Texas. Alma McCarty joins us in the newsroom with the new information. Alma.
And Christine, this isn't the first time we've heard about detainees who are being held in Tacoma getting moved to other detention facilities hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. A reminder, some of the video of this particular arrest may be difficult for viewers to watch or hear.
They're hurting him.
He had no clue it was ICE. He thought he was just being stopped by police.
Less than a week ago, federal agents arrested 27-year-old Jose Paniagua Calderon in Vancouver. In the incident recorded by a witness on 4th Plain Boulevard, it looks like an SUV hit something on the ground where he was sitting.
They're hurting him.
Oh my God. His family, who believes his foot was run over by federal agents, initially worried it could be broken.
He did tell us that it wasn't broken, but it did hurt. He was in pain.
The Department of Homeland Security firing back after the arrest, saying Paniagua Calderon wasn't hurt and instead calling it an Oscar-level performance, dramatically screaming while officers simply moved his vehicle off the roadway. Now his family reports he's no longer at the Tacoma facility, nor in the Pacific Northwest.
He was very scared that was going to happen to him, and I feel so bad that it came true.
His transfer confirmed by DHS officials, who tell KGW he's now at Camp East Montana, an ICE detention facility in El Paso, Texas.
And I told my family, and they were all so sad and mad, and they couldn't believe that they had taken him more than 1,000 miles away from us.
Jose's sister-in-law, Carmen, fearing that this move is retaliation after she spoke out about his arrest last week.
I feel like they want to silence us. I feel like they want to isolate him.
Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin pushing back in a statement, writing, claims that transfers of detainees are being weaponized or hidden are categorically false. All transfers are made in accordance with strict guidelines. She said detainees and attorneys are notified about transfers and directs families to the ICE detainee locator.
We don't even know what to do. We don't even know how to help him. Like, he's so far.
The Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition called these transfers, as far as Texas, Arizona, or Louisiana, extremely disruptive. The group reports it's an issue they've been seeing a lot, and that a transfer can upset the course of a person's legal case, put them in a physical location where it's impossible for family to visit, and can also mean that people do not get legal representation.
Now, both the feds and PERC say transfers have to do in part with bed space or capacity inside a particular detention facility. Christine?
Alma McCarty reporting for us. Appreciate the follow-up, Alma. Thank you. A conservative influencer is planning to sue the city of Portland for millions of dollars over his arrest outside the ICE building that he says was unlawful. Nick Sorter was one of 3 people arrested in early October accused of fighting near the South Waterfront facility. After reviewing the case, the district attorney dropped the disorderly conduct charge against Sorter, saying he was acting in self-defense. Now, according to a notice filed this week, Sorter plans to sue the city and Portland Police Bureau for $10 million. He says he was arrested without probable cause and targeted because of his political views. Our Blair Best spoke to his attorney today.
So the tort claim alleges that his arrest was unlawful. What specific evidence supports that claim?
This is an interesting case because every bit of what happened is on video, and we know that the officers were able to see what happened. And what happened in this case is not only was Mr. Sorter innocent of any wrongdoing, but it was clear he was the victim.
Portland police and the city of Portland have declined to comment on pending litigation. But in a post on social media after Sorter's arrest, the police bureau said arrests are not based on political affiliation or public profile. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. We have learned it was an employee at a Southeast Portland convenience store who was shot and killed last night. The man worked at 3D's Market on 139th Avenue. Neighbors say it's a family-owned store that's been here for decades.
Just shocked because they're you always hear they're the nicest people, and they really are.
Portland police have not made any arrests or released any information on a motive. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office launched a new enforcement operation today to crack down on impaired driving during the holidays. The enhanced patrols will happen through January 1st. Deputies will focus on peak holiday travel and late night hours. They say that's when impaired driving incidents typically rise.
This time of year we see a significant increase in impaired driving behavior for a number of different reasons. A lot of folks gather for workplace holiday parties, holidays with the families. There's a lot of different sporting events that go on that lead to social drinking. So we're really looking for folks to make responsible choices.
Authorities want you to plan ahead and designate a sober driver or use public transport, ride-sharing services, or taxis. And today, Portland City Council approved Raymond Lee III as the next city administrator. Lee most recently served in the same role in Greeley, Colorado. At a news conference this afternoon, he spoke about his vision for the role, which includes forming a bridge between Portland's City Council and the mayor's office. Lee pointed to homelessness and the cost of living as two areas he's hoping to address, but also acknowledged the budget challenges the city is facing.
Tough decisions are going to have to be made as we go through this budget year and probably some future budgets as we look at the structural component of how we provide services as a community.
Lee is taking over for current city administrator Michael Jordan, who will retire at the end of the month.